In this video, we're going to look at dividing numbers that end in zeros. I'm going to use a little bit of the patterning to help us visualize and understand that we sort of talked about in the last video. So the question it's asking us is 100,000 divided by 2. Some of you might automatically think, oh, that's 50,000. 50,000 times 2 is 100,000. That's fine, but I want to just visually show it to you. So starting with 100 divided by 2. That's a little easier for us to wrap our brains around. We mostly know that 2 times 50 is 100. The other way I want you to look at it is thinking, okay, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and then there's just another 0. So then that pattern kind of continues. 10, 10, 10, and then the associated zeros. So let's sort of continue that. If we just do 1,000 divided by 2, some of you might be able to say, oh, 1,000 divided by 2 is 500. Which, that makes sense. We have 10 divided by 2 is 5, and then 2 zeros that match over here. Next one is 10,000 divided by 2. Okay, that must be 5,000, because 2 times 5,000 is 10,000. Yep, you are correct. Again, the visual, 10 divided by 2 is 5. And we have 3 zeros here, 3 zeros in the answer. Again, okay, this one is 100,000 divided by 2. As we earlier said, I know that's 50,000. But just to look at the other way of doing it, 10 divided by 2 is 5. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 additional zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer here is 50,000. Okay, in this example, we're trying to figure out what 18 million divided by 200,000 is. I want to show you this concept that I believe we can sort of cancel out some of the zeros. So I've started with a really simple question. 180 divided by 2. I know that 18 divided by 2 is 9, and I'm going to add a 0 in the end. I can also visualize for myself 2 times 90 is 180. If you want, you can prove that to yourself in multiplication. So I believe that even though we've added an additional 0 on the end here, our answer is still going to be 90. I'm going to prove that to you by going 20 times 90. And remember, with multiplication with zeros, there's this handy little thing where you just need to add them up. I think with this one, we're just sort of cutting them out. So we're going to go 2 times 9 is 18, and then we add those 2 zeros on the end. Yep, that matches over here. So this one, 18,000, 180 and these 2 extra zeros divided by 2 and the 2 extra zeros, or 18,000 divided by 200, still going to be 90, because these cancel out. Cancels out. So 180, or what is that now? 18 million divided by 200,000. It's exactly the same question we answered at the beginning. 180 divided by 2 is 90. So think about the fact that there's 5 zeros here, so I can cancel out 5 of the zeros in this question. And we're left with a simpler question of 180 divided by 2, which we did pretty easily at the beginning. For this last example, we're looking at 12,000 divided by 40. So I'm going to simplify it slightly. As I said before, I'm just going to cross off. We have a couple zeros we can cancel out. So now we're doing 1,200 or 1,200 divided by 4, which is still a big question. I'm going to focus on 12 divided by 4 is 3. And I'm going to add the 2 extra zeros on the end. And let's see if that works. 4 times 300. 3 times 4 is 12 with the 2 extra zeros. Oops, 2 extra zeros. Yeah, so simple as that. Just a matter of thinking, okay, let's focus on, I first canceled out these extra zeros. I think that makes it easier. And then I did, okay, 12 divided by 4 is 3, but I need 2 more zeros to make that. So our answer is 300. Okay, this is a bit of a funny section to wrap your brain around. If you need to use a calculator to get you going, I have no problem with that. but see if you can start to notice some patterns that make it easier for you. So you can visualize it more than just plug numbers into the calculator, because it's very easy to make mistakes that way. Okay, good luck with this section.